How's it going, guys? I'm Wes with AR15.com. We are here at SHOTShow 2023. Got my good buddy Rob here from Powertac. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's always good to see you.
Great show. Not busy, just super
well,
chill, relaxed.
It was chaos and pandemonium. I think they let people in about 20 minutes earlier than they should.
Nice.
But now we're finally starting to be able to breathe, which is good.
I have to say, you have one of the best mustaches I've seen here. I don't think you had that last time I saw you.
This is protest. So we were allowed to have beards for No Shave November at my agency. They let us have December, and they made us shave it. And then off the record, for all of you watching, when they told us to shave it, I found in our policy we could have a mustache. It's not very well known, but it's like a grandfathered in. So when we had a meeting the next day, I told my chief in choice words that this is his fault. And I'm going to use this and wear this in protest until I can have the beard. But I kind of look like if I jump out of a van that I should be tackled by LEO.
I'm going to comply, but as little as possible. As little as possible.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some cool stuff here. What do you want to show us today?
So two things. I mean, we've got a lot of other stuff going on. We've got some cool stuff going on that isn't really geared toward your audience, but two of the things I would probably show off is the first thing would be our Huntsman. We did a little revisions for it this year. So really, really, really focused light, okay? You take this light and you turn around, it's a solid beam on the wall, okay? Now, if you take our light here, a lot of people have to change batteries on a light and do this and that, whatever. However often, whether it's they're law enforcement, they're a guy like me who just has cool stuff in their truck or doesn't, stay away from my truck. But I don't want to have to change lights and I don't want to have to pull the head off, this off, that off. You always introduce different elements when you do that. Well, I'll leave that off for a second so I don't blind the camera. So this works with our magnetic charging cable. So this can be in a rifle rack if you're law enforcement. You press your little buttons on the cab or whatever secret consoles you got. This will literally magnetically hook onto it. It's a USB cord. So it stays in the rack. You go to pull it out of your rack, it just drops off. You don't have to worry about, do I have fresh batteries in it? Are my batteries good? Did I unplug my cable, remove my charging port, anything like that? If for some reason that charging port breaks down or it fails, what you can do is, on this little port right here, if you take a screwdriver, a knife, a pry bar, anything like that, and it's hard to do while looking at the camera here, but you just get underneath this little rubber port here, and you can take this out, and you can just run a standard micro USB cable to it. And so God forbid you're deployed somewhere, you're in Afghanistan, Iraq, out of country, doing something, you can find one of those generic cords anywhere. Yeah. So you always have the option to use that.
It's good to have options.
Absolutely. 1500 lumens, but it's so focused. It puts out a lot of lux. So I did some shooting for a company recently. They were kind of trying to T&E the rails because we had this theory that if your rails are trued up and your rails are machined in spec with your barrel, everything's kind of aligned the same direction, that if you take that rifle and you've got a really strong focused light and you bring that rifle up, you can aim with it, with that light. If you know, if you run any kind of D-balls or lasers, you know that you can run it two different ways. You can run it on your red dot or you can run it basically perpendicular to it or adjacent to it. And okay, well, I know where this is. I know where that is probably going to impact because I've done some shooting. I've done my due diligence. So it's the same way with a flashlight. So if I take that rifle up, okay, and so I don't jib the camera because I kind of naturally go to my pressure pad. If I bring that rifle up and I know, okay, there's my bore, there's my barrel, that's kind of where I'm at, and I turn this light on, I was able to put 30 rounds on a man-sized target at 50 yards. A B-52 is the standard LE target. It's that generic black cutout, has the rings, 8, 9, 10, etc. I was able to put them all in kill zone without using sights, without using anything but the hot spot on that rifle light.
Nice.
So it's like a hunting, we call it a Huntsman. It's like a hunting light.
That was a nice explain and brag.
Yeah. So
nice.
That's our rifle light. It's compatible with M-LOK. It comes with an M-LOK mount. It comes with a Picatinny mount. It used to be a QD mount. We didn't really like the design of it, so now it's just a solid mount. That's the Huntsman. Yep. The second cool thing that's new this year, if you're familiar with WOFT, this is new today. Nobody's seen this yet. This is the WOFT light. This is made in conduction, or in, what's that phrase? You work with somebody, you do something.
Yeah, you're collaborating with them.
In collaboration, excuse me, or in partnership, there you go, with West Orlando, or excuse me, where our families train. Very cool light, 1200 lumens, focused light. So strong hot spot, gonna have that, hey, here's this one spot you can get to, smooth reflector, really, really sharp point out to somebody. Not going to light up a whole room, but it'll give you that good, okay, you come up to somebody, you can just get good light on them. Every time you press the button on the tail cap, it's always going to go on its highest setting.
Okay.
So to change settings, you have a button on the side here that you change. You turn it on, you just change that setting. So you can go through your different modes with that.
Yep.
But if I put it on low mode and I turn it off, God forbid somebody goes to attack me or my dog goes to run out in traffic or whatever the case may be, I don't want to turn it on and have it in low mode. It goes automatically to its highest setting when you turn it on.
Nice.
2 quick taps goes into strobe mode. Really, really cool. But we wanted it to be an everyday pocket carry light. So one of the things we thought of is, okay, well, we wanted an aggressive bezel. We wanted it to be a self-defense tool. Somebody comes up to me,
Yeah.
I can jab them, I can do whatever I've got to do. We want a sharp, really aggressive DNA collector on it, okay? When you go through airport security, what's going to happen? Well, they're going to point to that sometimes. I mean, heck, they were giving me hell over my business cards coming over here. So all I got to do is unscrew that, throw it in the trash can, I can go through TSA. We're going to sell these on our website as well. You've got a smooth bezel, and you've got a more of a crenulated bezel, so this one's more of a DNA catcher. Then you just either go to your checked baggage if you carried one as a spare, or even if you have one in your pocket or something crazy, or wore it like a ring. You probably get through TSA with it like a ring, but then you can turn around and put whichever one you want on it. So
Very
if your
nice.
wife doesn't like the smooth one, or doesn't like the aggressive one, you put the smooth one on.
That's it.
Pretty cool, right?
Yep. I like the double-sided pocket clip.
Yep, deep
If you ever
carry.
need to. It's a good size for an EDC light. Like, that's the size I like to carry.
We wanted and he wanted the perfect EDC light, the perfect combination of a tactical light, if you will. Any light can be tactical, but if you have to fight the light, whether it's a rifle light, whether it's a pistol light, if it's a headlamp, if it's not easy to use an interface with your gear, I don't think it's tactical. You know, tactical isn't a design. It doesn't mean it has to be a black and colored light. Tactical is kind of, hey, if you're using sound tactics when you're using this, tactical could be the way you take your flashlight out to put your trash in the dumpster by the curb. That can be tactical because you did it in a tactical manner.
Yeah.
But people get caught up with, oh, well, it's got to have a DNA catcher on, it's got to have glass breakers, it's got to be this. It's so, there's no real authority that's going to distinctly, hey, this is what that is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Did it take a double A?
So that's actually a very good point. Right now, to get the absolute output that we have, 1,200 lumens for as long as we have, it takes a 14500 rechargeable battery that comes with the light.
Okay.
Now, the 2.0, and this is also not out there, so you're welcome. For the 5 people that will
You heard
watch,
it here first.
they'll see my face on here and they'll be like, deuces, and jump out. We're going to make it a dual fuel.
Okay.
So a AA battery, something that you could find just laying around somewhere, because you're not going to find that battery. And that's always been one of Powertac's big things is we want that duality. We want that user serviceability of if your light goes down because the battery failed, I don't want it to be that it has this one unique battery that you can't get to.
Yeah.
If an officer somewhere is using 18650 on his Huntsman, and he turns around and he goes to use it, and he can't use it because he can't find an 18650, I want him to at least be able to hopefully find some CR123s, because most agencies, they're running optics that have a CR123 or a AA. They're running flashlights that run CR123 or AA. So hopefully they'll kind of police themselves, no pun intended, and go, okay, I want to run this optic because it's CR123, and I want to run this light because it's CR123, and I want to have spare batteries.
Gotcha.
You know, the stock on my duty rifle, I have a, I want to say Mission First or something like that, but I can store my AA's in for my EOTech 512. And then on the flip side of that, I want to have an optic or a flashlight that runs AA's. So I could simply put this as soon as it comes, because this is literally a brand new prototype. As soon as we can put a AA in this thing, I would love to put this on a rifle and have a little 1,200 lumens. Most people be like, oh, 1,200 lumens, well, this weapon light's, I got a 5,000 lumen flashlight. You can't run a 5,000 lumen flashlight in a room and clear.
Yeah.
Even if it's a laser beam, you can't do it.
You're bumping the night rifle, you click that on, and you're just gone.
It's just absolute washout. So, you know, there's always got to be, again, that tactical nature of what is the direction, what is the intended use, the intended purpose of this product.
Yeah.
Don't get lost in the sauce of, hey, this one says this many lumens, let's buy that one, it must be better. Hey, this one says this many lumens, because we've got lights over here that are 10,000 lumens that aren't as bright 100 yards away as a light that's 1,500 lumens. It's all the intended use.
All right, so where can I get these, and what's the MSRP on them?
You can go to powertac.com, okay? The Huntsman is going to have an updated pressure pad. It's going to have an updated switch. It's still going to be about 1,500 lumens. You're still going to have the magnetic charging capability and everything. We're looking at $199. That should be coming into the country or coming onto our website maybe within the next month.
Okay.
Hoping to, because
So
we just
Q1.
revised it. Yeah, Q1. And the WOFT light, if you go to powertac.com or you go to whereourfamiliestrain.com or woft.com, you'll be able to get that, I believe, immediately following the show. So the
Fantastic.
first run of these, I will say, I believe the first entire run of them is already spoken for by WOFT, because we're handing them a box at the show.
Yeah.
So I believe go to their website, go to woft.com, Where Our Families Train, and you'll be able to hopefully get one of these before they're sold out.
Very cool. Rob, I really appreciate your time.
Always
Hope you
love
guys have a great show. Guys, I'm Wes from AR15.com. We are at SHOTShow 2023. We'll see you at the next booth.